Who were you before you met them? Sometimes I feel like I'm inauthentic. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't really myself, like I was portraying as someone who I wasn't. And a while ago, I got asked a question from an employee at the gym. He asked me, who were you before you met your ex? Who were you before you met this person? And at the time when he asked me that, I didn't know how to respond. I literally just sat there, like, or stood there, sorry, and just kind of gave him a blank stare. And I was like, huh? I don't think I could answer that for you. And he kept repeating the question over and over again. Who were you before you met her? And again, I just stood there. In the end, I just told him, you're going to give me some, I need some time. I need some time to process this question. I need some time to kind of think of my answer. And as a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks went by, I kept thinking about that question. It kept popping in my head. And every time I would try to form an answer, it was inauthentic. It wasn't genuine. It was something that I just put in the spur of the moment because I was like, maybe this will work. No, because I still felt it within myself that it was not you before you met her. And I sat there and I was like panicking. I was like, oh my gosh, who was I? I can't even remember. And then it wasn't until I would say maybe 8 months later that I finally was able to remember who I was. That question popped in my head again. And I was like, oh, now I know the answer. And if we were going to look at this, the versions of me, the one that was in the relationship and the one that wasn't in the relationship before I met her, it's like night and day. Because the version of me that was in this relationship, he was very much being someone who he wasn't. He was so focused and locked in on the future. And that's not to say it wasn't a bad thing, but he also forgot to focus on the present, to focus on the relationship right here, right now. And at times he was trying so hard to be nonchalant or to be so serious when he couldn't just at least calm down or relax or just be yourself. He was inauthentic. He was stressed. I admit he was stressed. That version of me that was in that relationship was stressed, worried, so focused on the future and being an adult that he forgot to live life for what it is right now. And then if we go back even further, the version that of me before I met her, I was very much open, going, laughing, joking. I was always down for the ride, down to do any side quest. Doesn't matter when and where, let's go. Laughed at everything, made jokes to just ease the tension. Always yapped and always talked. Where did he go? I think this relationship took a toll on me in the fact that I was so focused on being an adult that I forgot that truly within myself, I just want to have fun. I should remember that within me and the kid version of me wants me to still live my life and have fun while doing it. Like I said, it wasn't until 8 months later after I got asked that question that I was finally able to give him an answer. This friend of mine, his name is John, and I went up to him and I said, John, I think I know the answer. And he's like, to what? Because again, it's 8 months later. He's like, what are you talking about? And I said, do you remember a long time ago when you and I kind of first met, maybe like one of the first few times, you asked me who was I before I met her? And he said, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I said, I think I know who I was. And he said, really? So who was he? And I just remember telling him he was someone that focuses on the future, but also doesn't forget to live in the present. That laughs a lot, jokes around a lot because he wants to make others happy. He needs to get serious, and he does when the times come. But he also tries to make people laugh and smile because he knows that other people go through something. Sometimes they're having a bad day. Sometimes life is giving them a hard time. So that version of me before I met her was always giving out a hand to those people, regardless if I knew them or not. And I remember when I said that, John looked at me and he said, I can see that. And so now, 4 months into this new year, I look back at that question that he asked me, and I'm glad I answered the way I did. Because the people that I've met now, new people, new friends that I have made, So one of the first things that I always get told now is, "You laugh a lot." And at first I was like, wait, hold up. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?" And he said, "No, no, no. I like it. You laugh a lot. You're always making jokes, and you're always trying to not make it so silent, and you giggle a lot." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I think it's good to live life, and if you find something funny, laugh." So I always do. I always smile a lot too. I think people take themselves seriously a lot. And that's not to say it's a bad thing, but I always want to go out of my house or out of my apartment with a smile on my face, laughing at what I never need to laugh. And if I think of something that's funny in my head, I'll laugh at it. I'll laugh at it out loud because it's funny. Why am I going to just be like, no, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to laugh when I need to. And yes, there is going to be a lot of stuff that weighs on me. I have stuff I need to get done, problems that I have to go through. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to go through life, go through every day that I live serious and stone faced. I'm not. I'm going to live my life like I did before I met this person. But I look back at it now. I look back at that entire relationship and the version of me beforehand, and I think to myself, I have learned a lot from this past relationship. It's not to say I wasn't, but one key thing that I will always remember is that if I go into something new with someone, to not forget who I was before I met them. Because the person that I was before I met this person, or the person I was while I was meeting this person, is the version of me that they like, is the version of me that they want. The version of you that you become in this relationship, yes, he will change. Yes, you're going to change. It's what happens. Life changes all of us. But if you can stay rooted into those morals that you have previously before you met this person, you can not only become someone new, but also stay true to yourself because of those morals, because of those things that you still have within you. And so that's what I'm doing. It's not to say it's bad that I'm going to be changing. I'm excited to see what the future has for me, but I'm always going to remember that within me and the kid version of me is that I was always a giddy, go, happy, silly, goofy, stupid, but also very much a yapper, someone that would always, if needed to be, if you needed to talk to me seriously or deeply, or needed me to hear you out, or needed advice, I would always be ready for it. I could switch my modes like an instant. If you wanted me to be stupid and silly and goofy and just have fun and live life like I normally will, I'm going to always do that. But if there's a moment in time where I see that there's someone that desperately just needs someone to talk to, I'm also going to be there for them. Regardless if I know them or not, I will always do that. And that's who I was before I met this person. And somehow in along the way when I was with them, I lost that. But now that I remember it again, I'm ready to face everything head on, to face whatever new relationship's going to come my way. And it's not to say face it like in a mean way. It's more to face it like with open arms. Because now I know that within me, myself, I will always be true to me. And yes, I will change. And yes, things will happen. But as long as I remember what's within me, who I was before I met this person, who I was while meeting this person, it's going to be the version of me that they want. I'm going to be that version that they enjoy having around. And so I ask you, who were you before you met her? Who were you before you met them? Who were you before you met him? Who were you? And where has that person gone? And you might be able to give me an answer right away because you already have sat with that question. You already know. Maybe you already are him or her or them again. Maybe you are. Or maybe you'll give me an answer that isn't authentic, that you just say right now, but you know within your head and in your heart that it isn't right. And to those people that can that say that answer and still within themselves say, oh no, that's not right. I ask you, where has that person gone? Because you do know who they are. Maybe right now you just don't know the answer. Maybe right now you're just going to say whatever comes out first, even though it doesn't feel authentic. But sooner or later, you will know that answer. Who were you before you met them? Today's recording is filmed in none other than the Greenway Park here in Beaverton, Oregon. This is like my fifth time coming here, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot being here. It's very calm. It's very friendly. There's a lot of birds flying around. I literally sat here before recording this. I sat here and there was just so many birds flying around. I was like shocked. I was like, whoa, and ducks too. Don't forget ducks. But Yesterday, when I walked here, I felt something come over me. For the longest time, I think I was being so inauthentic within myself, so caught up within my own things, so caught up within my life and problems and things that I needed to take care of, that I forgot for one moment the real reason why I wanted to start going outside, why I wanted to record outside, was because I just wanted to not get so caught up in life and things that I'm doing. And for maybe it is what, 30 minutes, an hour, to just be out. Turn that focus ready brain or turn that like stressed out brain off for just an hour and just walk and look. And I remember seeing the sunset. It was so beautiful yesterday. You can kind of see it back here, but the sun's like behind the camera. So, but it kind of made me cry within myself a little bit because I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And there's so many times where I oversee the sunset. I don't even look at it. I just pass by it, or it's like I don't pay any attention to the sunset because I'm already focused on something else. That for this moment yesterday, I just stood there and looked at it. I think that's what caused me to kind of make this video the way it is. I also was recording like 3 or 4 takes of this, and every time I try to record it, I felt inauthentic. I felt like, nope, that's not how I want to say it. Nope, that's not how I want to start it. But when I finally started to just kind of talk the way I wanted, the way I just normally talk by myself, everything kind of flowed out a little better. I guess I just want to end this with just be yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't do what someone else is telling you to do. And don't be someone that you're not. Remember that, please, 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 please. If I could ask you to do one thing, it's to always be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. And if you're goofy in public, be goofy. Who cares? There's so many times I'm driving in the car, windows roll down, and I'll just be like jamming out in my car, and people will be looking at me, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. Because why am I to care? They're not gonna see me ever again. They probably will, but I don't care. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm me, and that's all that matters. If you haven't gone for a walk today, go for a walk. I think that's how I'm going to end it. Remember that every day is a day closer. Whatever it is that you're doing or trying to accomplish, dream, goal, career, whatever it is, remember that every day is a little bit closer. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, it might not even be next month. But as long as you do it every day, you will get one step closer to achieving that dream. You will get one step closer to achieving that goal. You will get one step closer to just being where you want to be. I think I said that right. Anywho, that's it for me. Deuces.